Tonight, your scattered energy comes home to you. Not because you have failed to hold on tightly enough, not because you finally found the perfect words, not because someone else suddenly understood what you needed. It comes home because some part of you is ready to stop living with your attention stretched toward what cannot meet you with steadiness. There have been moments when your mind was in one place and your heart was somewhere else entirely. You could be lying in bed, washing a cup, answering a message, sitting in traffic, speaking to someone who cared about you, and still part of you was elsewhere, waiting, reading between lines, trying to understand a silence, replaying a conversation, wondering why warmth could appear so fully one day and disappear the next, wondering whether you had said too much or not enough, wondering whether asking for clarity had made you difficult, wondering whether being patient a little longer would finally change the pattern. This kind of waiting can become so familiar that you stop recognizing how much of yourself it occupies. You may call it hope. You may call it loyalty. You may call it giving someone time. And sometimes those things are real. Sometimes patience is kind. Sometimes two people truly do need room to understand each other. Sometimes a connection moves slowly because life is complicated, because trust takes time, because people are human. But there is another kind of waiting. It is the waiting that asks you to abandon your own peace in order to keep a possibility alive. It asks you to become fluent in uncertainty. It trains you to celebrate fragments because you have been hungry for something whole. It makes the smallest sign of attention seem enormous because you have spent so long living with too little consistency. A reply arrives and your whole body brig tends. Then silence returns and your thoughts begin working again. You search for the reason. You remember the last sentence. You study the tone. You ask yourself what changed. You consider whether you should send another message. Then you tell yourself not to. Then you think perhaps waiting will make you appear calmer. Then you wonder why being yourself has started to require this much strategy. That exhaustion matters. It does not make you needy. It does not make you foolish. It tells you that too much of your inner life has been placed in the hands of uncertainty. There are people who have spent months, even years, trying to become easier to keep. They ask for less than they want. They hide disappointment quickly. They lower the volume of their needs before anyone can accuse them of having too many. They become endlessly understanding. They explain away inconsistency. They accept plans that are always uncertain. They wait for someone else to decide what the connection means. They offer reassurance while quietly needing reassurance themselves. They become excellent at giving others space while having no place to put their own questions. Perhaps you have known this pattern. You tell yourself that you do not want to pressure anyone. You want to be mature. You want to be kind. You do not want to seem demanding. You do not want to lose something that could still become beautiful. And because your intentions are sincere, you keep offering more room. Another chance, another explanation, another benefit of the doubt, another week in which you promise yourself you will not think about it so much, another morning when your first thought goes outward instead of inward, Another evening when your mood depends on whether something happened. Another small piece of yourself placed beside a door that has never fully opened. This is where your energy begins to scatter, not in one dramatic moment. In dozens of tiny movements, you reach outward before checking what is happening within you. You try to understand another person before honoring what their behavior is already showing you. You become more interested in their intention than in your own experience. You ask, do they care? When another question may serve you better. Can I remain peaceful here? You ask, what are they afraid of? You might also ask, what does this uncertainty ask me to tolerate? You ask, what if they need more time? You might also ask, what happens to me while I keep waiting? These are not angry questions. They are not punishments. They do not make anyone wrong. They bring you back into the picture. For a long time, you may have tried to understand connection by looking almost entirely at the other person, their past, their fears, their timing, their confusion, their pressures, their wounds, their circumstances. You became an expert in the reasons someone might struggle to show up clearly. You could explain everything. You could defend their distance. You could describe why commitment might frighten them. You could identify why they pulled close and then disappeared. You could even make their inconsistency sound compassionate. And somewhere inside all that understanding, your own experience became a footnote. You were still the one waiting, still the one adapting, still the one trying to make peace with less than what your heart could comfortably live inside. This does not mean the other person was cruel. It does not mean every uncertain connection is manipulative. People can care and still be unavailable. People can mean well and still be unable to meet you. People can have sincere feelings and still lack the capacity, readiness, or desire to build something stable with you. Both truths can exist. You can honor someone's humanity without turning their limitations into your assignment. You can understand their history without making it your home. You can care without waiting forever. You can remember what was beautiful without pretending that beauty alone created safety. You can be grateful for what something awakened in you and still admit that it did not give you a place to rest. This is an important kind of maturity, not the maturity of needing nothing, the maturity of recognizing what you actually need and refusing to shame yourself for needing it. You are not difficult because consistency matters to you. You are not excessive because you want words and actions to agree. You are not demanding because you want to know where you stand. You are not asking for too much because you prefer mutual effort to endless interpretation. There is a difference between control and clarity. There is a difference between urgency and honesty. There is a difference between demanding a guaranteed future and asking whether two people are walking in the same direction. And there is a difference between giving a connection room to breathe and giving it so much room that you disappear from your own life. You may have crossed that line quietly. Many people do. You did not wake up one morning and decide to abandon yourself. You adapted little by little. You gave because giving was natural to you. You understood because understanding felt compassionate. You stayed open because closing your heart felt harsh. You hoped because hope can be beautiful. None of these qualities are the problem. The pain begins when your beautiful qualities are used against your own peace. Generosity becomes overextension. Patience becomes indefinite waiting. Empathy becomes self-erasure. Hope becomes a reason not to accept what is happening now. Kindness becomes the habit of excusing what keeps hurting you. At that point, the answer is not to become colder. You do not need to harden. You do not need to distrust everyone. You do not need to become suspicious of tenderness. You do not need to turn your past disappointment into a rule about all future connection. You only need to bring yourself back into equal importance. Your experience matters too. Your timing matters too. Your body matters too. Your sleep matters too. Your peace matters too. The way you are treated repeatedly matters. The way you must behave in order to keep something going matters. If you have to keep pretending you are comfortable with something that continually unsettles you, that matters. If you are always the one repairing distance, that matters. If you are frightened to speak honestly because you suspect honesty may make the connection disappear, that matters. If you spend more time interpreting the relationship than living inside it, that matters. If you keep being told, directly or indirectly, that your needs must wait until another person becomes ready, that matters. You do not have to turn those facts into accusations. You can hold them as information. Clear information can be merciful. It ends the exhausting argument between what is happening and what you wish were happening. There is peace in no longer asking reality to disguise itself. You can care about someone and still believe what their pattern is telling you. You can miss them and still protect your sleep. You can remember tenderness and still stop negotiating with confusion. You can acknowledge chemistry without building your future around it. You can appreciate potential without mistaking potential for partnership. Your heart does not need another courtroom. It does not need you arguing a case for why someone should choose you. It does not need a closing statement. It does not need more evidence gathered from old messages. It does not need another night spent proving that your connection was meaningful. Something can be meaningful and still be incomplete. Something can matter deeply and still not belong in your future. Something can teach you and still not be where you stay. You are permitted to know the difference without becoming bitter. You are permitted to become clearer without becoming cruel. You are permitted to stop waiting without pretending you never cared. This is where your energy starts returning. First, from the questions that have no useful answer. Then, from the conversations you keep replaying. Then, from the future scenes you built around someone who never clearly agreed to live there with you. Then, from the imaginary version of the connection that existed only when you combined their best moments with your deepest hopes. Then, from the belief that one more perfect response from you might finally create the steadiness you wanted. You do not have to recover all of yourself at once. The return can happen in quiet pieces. One thought comes back. One expectation loosens. One night becomes your own again. One morning begins without checking for proof that you matter. One afternoon passes without trying to solve another person's silence. One decision is made because it is right for you, not because it might make someone move closer. You start coming back through ordinary choices. You eat when you are hungry instead of postponing dinner because a message might arrive. You make plans without keeping an invisible space open. You speak honestly instead of shaping every sentence around the possibility of rejection. You let your day belong to the day. You let your friends have your full presence. You give your work the attention that used to leak into waiting. You stop rehearsing explanations nobody asked you to give. You stop preparing to defend needs that do not require a defense. You begin remembering how quiet life becomes when you are no longer trying to manage another person's response to your truth. That quiet can feel unfamiliar at first. Sometimes chaos leaves, and the nervous system mistakes the absence of uncertainty for emptiness. You may be used to the small rush of wondering, will they? Won't they? Today? Tomorrow? Are things changing? Did that message mean more? Did that silence mean less? The mind can become attached to unpredictability because unpredictability creates constant stimulation. You do not have to judge yourself for this. Human attention is naturally pulled toward unfinished patterns. An uncertain connection keeps asking the brain for an answer. That is part of why it can occupy so much space. The problem is not that you lacked discipline. Your mind was trying to complete something that never gave it a stable conclusion. Understanding this can soften the way you speak to yourself. You were not ridiculous for checking. You were not weak for hoping. You were trying to find certainty in a situation that repeatedly offered partial information. Your system wanted resolution. Your heart wanted coherence. You wanted to know whether the warmth you experienced could become something dependable. That desire was human. Now you are learning that resolution does not always arrive through another person's explanation. Sometimes resolution comes through your own decision about what you can continue participating in. This is where your power becomes quiet. You no longer need every missing answer. You do not need to know exactly why someone could not meet you. You do not need the final message that explains everything perfectly. You do not need them to agree with your experience. You do not need them to call what happened by the same name you would use. You need your own clarity about what life was like while you were inside the pattern. Were you peaceful? Were you free to be truthful? Did you experience mutual care? Could you ask direct questions without fearing disappearance? Were your needs treated as part of the connection rather than as interruptions to it? Did effort move both ways? Could your body rest? Could your mind settle? Could you trust what was happening without constantly interpreting it? These questions are not a test someone else must pass. They are a way of returning to yourself. Because the most draining kind of pursuit is not always physical. Sometimes you never send another message. Sometimes you never ask for more. Sometimes you appear calm on the outside. And still, inwardly, you are reaching. You are waiting for a sign, waiting for regret, waiting for recognition, waiting for someone to realize what they had, waiting for timing to change, waiting for circumstances to arrange themselves, waiting for life to prove that your patience had a purpose. That inner reaching can continue long after a connection has become quiet. It is possible to walk away with your feet while keeping your whole inner world turned backward. There is no shame in discovering that. It only means your return is not finished. You are not being asked to erase memory. You are not being asked to deny affection. You are not being asked to force yourself into indifference. You are learning a kinder form of freedom. You can remember without remaining available to the old pattern. You can care without feeding expectation. You can miss someone without making missing them a command to go back. You can treasure what was real without giving the unreal parts another year of your life. This is how longing becomes less controlling. You stop treating every emotion as an instruction. You can have a feeling and still choose your direction. You can ache and still choose dignity. You can wonder and still choose rest. You can want and still choose what is healthy. You can remember and still move forward. Your feelings do not become enemies just because you stop obeying all of them. They become visitors. They pass through. They tell you something mattered. They remind you that your heart is alive. Then they leave room for something else, for your own life, for your own plans, for your own presence, for the people who meet you without making you perform uncertainty, for the parts of you that have been waiting to be included again. You may discover how much time you gave to anticipation, how many conversations you had in your head, how many ordinary moments were interrupted by checking, how many choices were shaped by the possibility of what someone might someday decide. Do not use that realization to attack your past self. Use it to become more loyal to the person you are now. You know more now. You understand more about what prolonged ambiguity does to you. You understand that chemistry is not the same as consistency. You understand that strong feeling does not automatically create shared readiness. You understand that sincerity and capacity are different things. You understand that someone can value you and still not be able to build with you. You understand that your task is not to convert another person's uncertainty into devotion. You understand that self-respect is not measured by how little you need. It is revealed by how honestly you can admit what you need without bargaining against yourself. There is a certain kind of pressure that enters a connection when you believe you must secure it. The pressure may never appear as words. You may never demand anything. It can live beneath your behavior. You become overly careful, overly available, overly responsive, overly accommodating. You try to get everything right because somewhere inside you believe one wrong move could make the connection disappear. That belief changes the way you show up. Instead of meeting another person as an equal, you begin auditioning. You monitor yourself. You edit your needs. You calculate timing. You try to be impressive without seeming like you are trying. You try to appear independent while secretly hoping independence will make someone move closer. You try not to care too much. Then you care about whether you look like you care too much. Soon, the relationship is no longer only between two people. It is also between you and the version of yourself you think will be easiest to choose. This is exhausting, and it quietly communicates something to your own mind. It says, "Who I am naturally may not be sufficient." That message can become more painful than the original uncertainty. Because now you are not only waiting for another person, you are also abandoning the part of you that wanted to be met without performance. Calm self-respect changes this. It does not guarantee that anyone stays. That is important. No inner practice can honestly promise another person's choice. No affirmation can control someone's readiness. No spiritual idea should ask you to ignore reality. Calm self-respect does something more dependable. It changes the position from which you participate. You stop entering every interaction with the hidden question, "How do I keep this?" You begin asking, "Can I be fully present and fully myself here?" You stop measuring success by whether someone moves closer. You begin measuring alignment by whether you can remain truthful. You stop treating departure as proof that you were lacking. You begin understanding that some departures are information. You stop trying to create attraction through effort. You begin trusting that mutual interest does not require constant persuasion. There is a natural difference in how these two positions are experienced. When you are afraid of losing someone, your attention narrows. You track reactions. You scan for signs. You try to predict. Your body may tighten before sending an honest message. You may rewrite a sentence 5 times. You may soften the truth until it barely resembles what you wanted to say. You may agree too quickly. You may say, "It's fine," while carrying the discomfort into the knee. Gut. None of this makes you dishonest in character. It means fear has entered the room, and fear often tries to protect connection by reducing the self. The deeper work is not becoming fearless. It is refusing to make yourself smaller every time fear appears. You can be afraid and still speak clearly. You can care and still ask a direct question. You can hope and still keep your life moving. You can want closeness and still decline confusion. You can have tenderness in your voice and firmness in your choices. This is where a different kind of attraction begins. Not mystical control. Not a promise that the right person appears on a schedule. Something more human. When you are no longer pouring all your attention into being selected, you become more available to evaluate what is actually selecting you. You see more clearly. You listen to patterns. You stop confusing intensity with depth. You stop confusing delay with destiny. You stop confusing uncertainty with mystery. You become less impressed by what someone says they could become, and more attentive to how they are showing up now. You stop needing potential to rescue the present. This creates room for discernment, room for sleep, room for reciprocal connection, room for people who do not need to be convinced that your presence matters, room for your own life to expand again. There is strength in this kind of room because it is not created through punishment. You are not closing the door on life. You are ending the habit of standing outside a half-open one. You are not declaring that nobody can be trusted. You are learning to trust yourself sooner. You are not refusing vulnerability. You are becoming more careful about where your vulnerability is placed. You are not becoming unavailable. You are becoming unavailable for prolonged confusion. Those are different things, and the difference matters. Tonight, the return begins without drama. Nothing has to be announced. No speech is required. No one has to understand the shift. You do not need to send a final message to prove you have changed. You do not need to demonstrate your independence. You do not need to become distant in order to appear powerful. You do not need to punish silence with silence. This is not a game. Your peace is not a tactic. Your self-respect is not a strategy designed to make someone miss you. It belongs to you, whether anybody responds to it or not. That is what makes it real. You are coming back because you deserve to live inside your own life again. You are coming back because your attention is precious. You are coming back because uncertainty does not deserve unlimited access to your thoughts. You are coming back because your needs do not become unreasonable just because someone else cannot meet them. You are coming back because your heart was never meant to spend its whole life waiting for proof. Something inside you is already becoming quieter, not empty, quieter, less pulled, less busy, less occupied with what another person may decide, more available to hear your own truth. And the truth may be very plain. You want what can stand beside you without making you beg for steadiness. You want connection that does not require you to become a detective. You want warmth that can survive ordinary days. You want words that do not have to be translated through silence. You want effort that has another set of hands in it. You want to be able to care deeply and still sleep. There is nothing excessive about that. There is nothing embarrassing about that. There is nothing you need to apologize for. For now, you do not have to decide every future step. You only have to stop sending all of yourself outward. Bring one part back, then another, your attention, your time, your inner conversation, your plans, your dignity, your rest, your direction. Tonight, these belong with you. The shift becomes easier when you understand why overreaching changes the way a connection feels. Pressure rarely announces itself loudly. Often it hides inside effort. You answer immediately even when you need time. You rearrange your day before anyone asks. You offer more reassurance than the moment requires. You explain your intentions before they have been questioned. You try to remove every possible reason someone might hesitate. You become so focused on making the connection comfortable for another person that you stop asking whether it is comfortable for you. Underneath these behaviors is often one quiet fear. If I stop trying, this may disappear. That thought can make ordinary connection feel like something you must continuously maintain. You become responsible for momentum, responsible for warmth, responsible for repairing distance, responsible for beginning the next conversation, responsible for keeping everything emotionally alive. Even when nobody officially gave you that role, you may have taken it because uncertainty felt harder than effort. Doing something felt safer than doing nothing. Reaching felt safer than waiting. Explaining felt safer than being misunderstood. Giving more felt safer than discovering that more effort would not change the outcome. This is understandable. The human mind often prefers action to uncertainty. Action gives us the temporary feeling that we are influencing what happens next. Yet relationships do not become secure because one person becomes exceptionally skilled at maintaining them. They become steadier when responsibility moves in both directions. Interest responds. Care responds. Curiosity responds. Effort answers effort. When one person is always generating the movement, the connection can begin to feel less like meeting and more like carrying. This matters because constant pursuit can communicate a message you never intended to send. It can quietly say, I need this outcome more than I trust myself. It can say, your approval has become more important than my own experience. It can say, I will keep adjusting until this works. Another person may never consciously put those thoughts into words. Still, people often feel when someone is overextending. They feel when every silence must be filled. They feel when every distance is immediately repaired. They feel when the connection has no room to reveal whether they would move toward it on their own. This does not mean you should use distance as a trick. Withholding affection to make someone pursue you is not self-respect. Ignoring someone to manufacture anxiety is not emotional maturity. Pretending not to care so that someone becomes more interested only creates another kind of performance. The point is not to reverse the game. The point is to stop playing one. There is a calm that enters when you no longer believe you must control every next step. You respond because you want to. You speak because something is true. You make an invitation because it feels sincere. Then you leave space for reality to answer. That space is important. Without it, you cannot know what belongs to the other person. You cannot know whether they would reach, whether they would initiate, whether they would ask, whether they would repair, whether they would make room. If you are always filling every gap, you never get to see what happens when you stop carrying both sides. This is not a test. It is observation. And observation can save you years of guessing. When someone is interested, their style may differ from yours. They may communicate differently. They may move more slowly. They may need more solitude. They may show care through actions you did not initially recognize. There is no single correct rhythm for human connection. But difference is not the same as chronic imbalance. A slower person can still be clear. A private person can still be dependable. A busy person can still communicate honestly. Someone who needs space can still respect your need for steadiness. Compatibility does not require identical behavior. It does require enough mutuality that neither person must continually betray themselves to keep the connection going. This is where standards become less about rules for other people and more about choices for yourself. A boundary does not say, you must become different. It says, I know what I can participate in peacefully. That distinction changes everything. You do not have to train another adult into becoming available. You do not have to create a list of demands and hope they transform. You do not have to convince someone that consistency should matter. You pay attention. You communicate. You listen. Then you choose. This is a quieter forte of strength than many people expect. It is not dramatic. It does not require confrontation every time something disappoints you. It does not need public declarations. It often looks ordinary. You stop volunteering for situations that repeatedly drain you. You stop saying yes when your body is already saying no. You stop turning basic needs into negotiations. You stop interpreting crumbs as promises. You stop treating uncertainty as something you must conquer. You stop assuming every difficult connection contains a hidden reward if you endure long enough. Endurance has its place. It can build marriages. It can deepen friendships. It can carry families through hard seasons. It can strengthen commitment when both people are facing the difficulty together. But endurance becomes harmful when the entire relationship is the difficult season. There should be more than recovery, more than waiting, more than repeated repair, more than hope placed against evidence. Something in you already knows this. That knowing may have appeared before you were ready to listen. It may have spoken through tiredness, through a tightening in your chest, through the strange sadness that came after moments that were supposed to make you happy, through the way relief appeared whenever you finally decided to stop reaching, through the way your sleep changed when you stopped checking. The body often recognizes imbalance before the mind is willing to name it. Not because the body predicts destiny, because it keeps track of strain. Repeated uncertainty creates strain. Repeated self-silencing creates strain. Repeated disappointment creates strain. Repeated hypervigilance creates strain. Your system learns what requires constant monitoring. When it does, even small changes can feel enormous. A shorter reply, a different tone, a delayed plan, a vague answer. Your mind may react quickly because it has learned that inconsistency often comes before disconnection. Then you try to restore safety by doing more. You reach, you reassure, you soften, you make yourself easy. For a moment, the anxiety decreases because action feels like control. Then uncertainty returns. This cycle can repeat until you begin confusing effort with devotion. They are not the same. Devotion can be calm. Devotion can include rest. Devotion can be mutual. Devotion does not require one person to stay in a constant state of emotional alertness. Healthy connection may still contain hard conversations. Misunderstandings happen. People disappoint each other. Timing becomes messy. Life interrupts plans. No relationship lives without tension. The difference is what happens around the tension. Can truth be spoken? Can repair happen without begging? Can both people take responsibility? Can disagreement exist without threatening the entire bond? And each person keep a sense of self? Can uncertainty be addressed rather than prolonged indefinitely? These questions tell you more than intensity ever will. Intensity is powerful. It can create beautiful memories. It can make a brief connection feel enormous. It can awaken parts of you that had been asleep. Still, intensity cannot perform the work of consistency. A fire can burn brightly and still not warm a house through winter. You are learning not to worship brightness at the expense of steadiness. You are learning to recognize the difference between being deeply moved and being deeply met. Both experiences can be real. Only one may be able to support the life you want. This is not cynicism. It is discernment. It is the wisdom that arrives when you stop asking attraction to carry responsibilities that belong to character, readiness, communication, and shared intention. You can feel drawn to someone who cannot build with you. You can admire someone who cannot meet your needs. You can share tenderness with someone whose life is moving in another direction. You can have real chemistry with someone who remains uncertain. Feeling something strongly does not require you to build your future around it. That understanding frees you from one of the most painful beliefs people carry. If it felt this powerful, it must be meant to last. Not everything meaningful is permanent. Some experiences reveal what you desire. Some reveal where you abandon yourself. Some teach you to speak sooner. Some show you how much tenderness you are capable of offering. Some expose an old wound that needs care. Some become memories rather than destinations. Meaning does not always equal permanence. You can accept that without reducing what happened. You do not need to call it fake in order to leave it behind. You do not need to hate someone in order to stop waiting for them. You do not need a villain to justify a boundary. You do not need anger to move. Sometimes clarity is sufficient. Sometimes you say inwardly, "This mattered, and I cannot live inside it anymore." That sentence can be both tender and final. For many people, however, leaving uncertainty is difficult because it touches something older. The current situation may awaken an old belief that says affection must be earned. You may have learned very early to pay close attention to other people's moods. You may have become skilled at being pleasing, helpful, quiet, accommodating, successful, easy to manage. You may have learned that approval increased when you behaved in certain ways. Perhaps warmth felt inconsistent. Perhaps attention had to be earned through achievement. Perhaps conflict made you afraid that closeness could disappear. Perhaps you watched adults stay silent about their needs. Perhaps you absorbed the idea that being loved meant and being useful. None of this requires you to blame anyone. Families pass down patterns without realizing it. People teach what they themselves were taught. A parent can care deeply and still be emotionally unavailable. A caregiver can do their best and still leave certain needs unmet. A household can appear stable while teaching a child to overfunction for connection. You do not need to put anyone on trial to understand what you learned. The important question is whether the lesson still serves you. Somewhere along the way, you may have absorbed a sentence that never belonged to your true identity. I have to do more to be chosen. It may not have sounded exactly like that. It may have appeared as behavior instead. Be prettier, be easier, be more patient, be more successful, be less emotional, be less direct, be more understanding, be more useful, be less complicated, be impressive enough that nobody wants to leave. The list can become endless because no amount of performance can permanently solve the fear underneath it. If your sense of security depends on flawless behavior, every relationship becomes an exam. You are always waiting for the grade, always checking whether you passed, always trying to correct the next mistake. That is too much weight for a human heart. You were never meant to earn belonging through permanent self-editing. You may still grow. You may still become more thoughtful. You may still apologize when you have caused harm. You may still learn better communication. You may still change habits that interfere with closeness. Growth is beautiful. But growth is different from trying to become acceptable enough to deserve care. One expands you, the other erases you. You can work on yourself without treating yourself as the problem. You can become wiser without deciding that your past self was foolish. You can raise your expectations without insulting the person who once tolerated less. That earlier version of you was trying to survive emotionally with the tools available at the time. She may have believed patience could create certainty. She may have believed generosity would inspire reciprocity. She may have believed that if she demonstrated loyalty long enough, someone would finally feel safe enough to meet her fully. She may have mistaken endurance for proof of devotion. She may have been afraid that walking away would mean she had failed. She may have been afraid there would be nothing else. She may have worried that asking for more would confirm the old fear of being difficult. Do not shame her. She was trying to protect hope. She was trying to preserve connection. She was trying to make sense of old lessons. She deserves compassion, not criticism. You do not heal self-abandonment by abandoning the person you used to be. You bring her with you. You tell her she no longer has to earn every place she rests. You tell her she is no longer responsible for creating another person's readiness. You tell her disappointment is survivable. You tell her being left is painful, but losing herself to avoid being left is more painful. You tell her that clarity is not cruelty. You tell her that asking for mutuality is not selfish. You tell her she can stop auditioning. There was never anything shameful about wanting to be chosen. Human beings are relational. We want closeness. We want recognition. We want to matter. We want someone to turn toward us willingly. Those desires are not flaws. The trouble begins only when wanting to be chosen becomes more important than choosing what is healthy for you. You are learning to hold both sides now. You can want connection. You can also choose yourself within it. You can desire partnership. You can also refuse prolonged uncertainty. You can stay open. You can also walk away. You can care deeply. You can also protect your dignity. You do not have to choose between tenderness and strength. The most grounded people carry both. Their heart remains open, but their life is not available for endless confusion. They do not require perfection. They do require honesty. They do not demand constant attention. They do expect mutual effort. They do not need to control another person's timing. They do pay attention when timing remains incompatible. They do not assume every disappointment means rejection. They also do not build a home inside repeated disappointment. This is the kind of steadiness you are moving toward. It begins internally. Before you ask anyone else to treat you differently, you begin treating yourself differently. You stop abandoning your own plans for possibilities. You stop arguing with your discomfort. You stop labeling yourself dramatic every time something hurts. You stop pretending indifference when you actually need clarity. You stop calling your instincts insecurity before you have examined what they are responding to. Sometimes anxiety comes from old wounds. Sometimes it comes from present inconsistency. Often it is a mixture. Wisdom is not assuming every uneasy feeling is prophetic. It is also not dismissing every uneasy feeling as irrational. You get curious. You look at patterns. You separate facts from fear. You ask what has actually happened. You ask whether your concern can be discussed openly. You watch what follows honesty. A secure connection does not require you to silence every concern to preserve it. Someone who is able to meet you may not always agree with your interpretation. They may see things differently. They may need time. They may make mistakes. Still, there is room for the conversation. You are not punished for having an inner world. You are not made to feel ridiculous for asking. You do not have to earn the right to speak. That room is part of emotional safety, and when it is absent and repeatedly, self-respect asks you to pay attention, not panic, not accuse, pay attention. This is how old beliefs begin to retire, not through one dramatic declaration, through evidence you give yourself. You tell the truth and survive. You stop over-explaining and survive. You let someone misunderstand you and survive. You wait for another person to initiate and discover what reality shows you. You say no and discover the world continues. You ask for clarity and learn that the answer, whatever it is, can be faced. You let a possibility end and discover that your life still contains mornings, still contains music, still contains meals, still contains people who care, still contains work to do, still contains places you have not seen, still contains versions of yourself you have not met. Each experience teaches your system something new. You do not have to cling in order to remain safe. You do not have to overgive in order to matter. You do not have to be endlessly patient to prove your heart is good. You do not have to keep every door open. Some doors become heavy because you are holding them with your own body. You are learning to step away and see whether anything else supports the weight. That is not abandonment. It is truth. The old sentence begins to weaken here. The one that said you were somehow insufficient unless somebody confirmed your value. The one that made silence feel like judgment. The one that made inconsistency feel like a challenge you had to solve. The one that told you being chosen would finally settle every doubt. That sentence was learned. It was repeated. It may have shaped many years. It was never a fact. Your life does not become meaningful when someone selects you. Your voice does not gain value when someone listens. Your beauty does not begin when someone admires it. Your tenderness does not become real when someone appreciates it. Your presence does not become important only when someone fears losing it. These things existed before any particular connection. They remain after it. This is the restoration, not becoming more desirable, remembering you were never a product waiting for approval, not trying to create a perfect version of yourself, returning to the person underneath the performance, not demanding that everyone recognize your value, choosing environments where you do not have to continually argue for it, not forcing the future, trusting yourself to respond when the future arrives. That trust is the beginning of inner direction. Soon you will feel it not as a rule, but as a quiet orientation, a sense of where you belong within yourself, a sense that you can move through uncertainty without surrendering your center, a sense that the right direction does not require you to keep spinning forever. For now, stay with this truth. You were not weak because you hoped. You were not foolish because you stay at longer than you now wish you had. You were learning. You were trying. You were loving with the understanding you had. Now, your understanding is changing. Your choices can change with it. No punishment, no shame, no bitterness, only a clearer direction beginning to form. There is a point when inner direction becomes more trustworthy than endless interpretation. Think of a compass held in your hand. You can shake it, turn it, tilt it, spin it until the needle loses its place for a moment. For a few seconds it may swing wildly. It may move east, then west, then past north again. It does not become frightened by the movement. It does not conclude that direction has disappeared. It does not decide that because it was disturbed, it has lost what guides it. It keeps responding. Then, little by little, the motion slows. The wide swings become smaller. The needle quiets, and it returns to north. There is something deeply reassuring in that. The needle does not have to search the whole world for its direction. Its task is not to chase every point around the circle. It does not need to persuade north to remain where it is. It does not need to negotiate with east. It does not have to prove anything to west. It settles according to what is already true. Your inner life can begin to work this way. There have been seasons when you were shaken. A message changed your mood. A silence turned your thoughts around. A promise made you lean one way. A disappointment pulled you another. Hope moved you forward. Fear turned you backward. You may have felt as though your entire sense of direction depended on what someone else did next. That is what prolonged uncertainty can do. It can keep the inner needle moving, not because you are incapable of clarity, because you are responding to changing signals. Warmth comes, then distance. Attention comes, then absence. Plans appear, then dissolve. Words suggest one direction. Behavior points somewhere else. Of course the mind keeps checking. Of course the heart keeps trying to make the pieces agree. You have been trying to find north in a field of moving signals. Tonight, you do not have to solve each one. You can begin with what remains true beneath all the movement. You know how you want to feel in a close connection. You know what prolonged uncertainty does to you. You know you want mutual effort. You know honesty matters. You know calm matters. You know respect matters. You know you do not want to spend your life interpreting fragments. These are not demands placed upon another person. They are coordinates. They help you recognize your own direction. A compass does not become more accurate by arguing with where north is. You become steadier when you stop arguing with what you already know. This may sound almost too plain. That is because self-respect is oft and less dramatic than the stories built around uncertainty. The mind can spend hours asking why somebody changed. Your deeper direction may answer in one sentence. This no longer feels stable enough for me. The mind can construct 10 explanations for inconsistent behavior. Your deeper direction may say, I need something clearer. The mind may ask whether waiting one more month could transform everything. Your deeper direction may say, I have already been waiting at the cost of my peace. These answers do not predict anyone else's future. They do not claim to know what another person will eventually become. They describe what is true for you now. That is enough to begin. Your compass does not require knowledge of the whole road. It only needs a reliable orientation. You can take one step from there, then another. You may not know who will share your future. You do not need to. You may not know when a new connection will appear. You do not need to know that tonight you may not know whether someone from your past will ever understand what was lost. That knowledge is not required for your healing. You only need to know the direction in which you no longer want to abandon yourself. That direction is available now. You may have spent a long time pointing yourself toward whoever held your attention. Their mood became north. Their approval became north. Their readiness became north. Their choice became north. If they moved closer, you felt oriented. If they stepped away, you felt lost. If they seemed certain, you relaxed. If they became unclear, everything inside you began spinning again. You can change that relationship with direction. Another person's behavior may give you information. It does not have to become your north. Their choices can affect your feelings without becoming the ruler of your identity. Their presence can delight you without becoming the source of your ground. Their absence can hurt without erasing your path. This does not mean you become untouched. You remain human. You remain tender. You may still feel a pull when an old name appears. You may still remember what you wanted. You may still have nights when part of you wonders. The difference is that wondering no longer decides where you point yourself. The needle may move, then it returns. That return is the practice, not perfect stillness. Return. You hear something that stirs you. Return. You remember an unfinished conversation. Return. You imagine what could have been. Return. You feel tempted to abandon your needs because someone has offered a little attention again. Return. You begin bargaining with your own clarity. Return. You find yourself preparing an explanation for why you should accept less. Return. Not harshly, not with anger towards yourself. You are learning your direction. Every return strengthens it. There may be days when the needle swings more than you expected. That does not erase progress. A compass that moves is not broken. Movement is part of how it finds alignment again. The goal is not to become someone who never feels confused. The goal is to become someone who no longer mistakes temporary confusion for permanent loss of direction. This matters especially after a connection that was never fully formed and never fully gone. Those experiences can be difficult to release because there is no clean edge. Nothing may have happened dramatically enough to give your mind a clear ending. There may have been affection. There may have been real conversations. There may have been moments when everything seemed possible. Then something remained unfinished, not completely absent, not fully present, close enough to awaken hope, unclear enough to keep the mind circling, and almost can occupy enormous space precisely because imagination keeps completing what reality did not. You remember what happened. Then you add what might have happened. You remember who the person was. Then you add who they might have become. You remember the connection as it existed. Then you add the future you pictured beside it. Soon you are grieving more than what was actually built. You are grieving the direction you thought your life might take. That grief deserves respect. You do not have to minimize it because the relationship lacked a formal name. The heart does not measure significance through labels alone. A possibility can touch you deeply. A brief connection can awaken a long dream. An unfinished bond can leave real tenderness behind. You can honor that without continuing to orient your life around it. A compass does not deny where it has pointed before. It simply returns to what guides it now. You can say, "That mattered," then return. You can say, "I wanted more," then return. You can say, "Part of me still wishes it had become different," then return. You can say, "I am sad," then return. You can say, "I do not understand everything," then return. Your direction does not require emotional amnesia. It requires loyalty to what you know now. What is aligned with you does not need you to spend your whole life searching for it inside confusion. That does not mean everything right for you arrives effortlessly. Human relationships require courage. They require communication. They require compromise. They require patience. They sometimes require staying through discomfort instead of leaving at the first difficulty. Alignment is not the absence of work. It is the absence of having to betray yourself as the price of belonging. That distinction can become your north. You can work through conflict without losing yourself. You can compromise without erasing yourself. You can support another person's growth without making their growth your responsibility. You can be patient without suspending your whole life. You can forgive without reopening every door. You can remain compassionate without becoming available to patterns that repeatedly injure your peace. The needle keeps teaching the same lesson. Direction is quieter than drama. It does not shout. It does not need to. The more you return to it, the easier it becomes to recognize. At first, you may need to ask yourself many questions. Does this feel reciprocal? Can I speak freely? Am I living according to my values here? Do actions match words often enough to build trust? Am I choosing from fear? Am I over-functioning again? Later, the answer may arrive faster. Your body loosens around what is steady. Your thoughts become less crowded. You do not feel compelled to monitor every shift. There is more room to be yourself. You do not need to impress constantly. You do not need to hide every concern. You can breathe through ordinary silence because silence is not being used as an indefinite answer. The inner needle grows quieter. You begin recognizing how much peace comes from not having to guess where you stand. And because you have known uncertainty, that peace may feel almost luxurious. Do not mistake calm for lack of passion. Some people have been conditioned to associate emotional intensity with depth. When the nervous system has become familiar with unpredictability, steadiness can initially seem less exciting. There is no need to force yourself to prefer anything. Just observe what leaves you more whole. A connection that can hold excitement and steadiness does not require constant instability to feel alive. You can laugh deeply without fearing tomorrow. You can desire someone without losing your center. You can miss them during a day apart without wondering whether the whole bond has disappeared. You can experience closeness without making every moment a measurement. Your direction becomes easier to trust when you stop confusing agitation with significance. Not every strong pull points north. Sometimes a strong pull points toward an old pattern. Familiarity can feel powerful. An unresolved wound can make certain dynamics feel strangely compelling. You may find yourself drawn toward the very kind of uncertainty you say you are tired of, because some part of your history recognizes it. This is not destiny. It is familiarity. And familiarity can be relearned. You can begin building new familiarity around steadiness, around clear communication, around mutual effort, around keeping your plans, around not losing sleep over someone else's indecision, around speaking earlier, around walking away sooner when a pattern becomes unmistakable, around staying present when something healthy feels quieter than the intensity you once knew. This takes time. The needle may still swing. Let it. Your task is to grip it and force it north. A compass works because the needle is free enough to respond. You too need room to respond honestly. If sadness is here, you can feel sadness. If disappointment is here, you can admit disappointment. If anger appears, you can listen without letting it harden you. If longing returns, you can acknowledge it. No feeling has to be denied before you move in a healthier direction. This is important because forced attachment is still a form of struggle. You do not need to pretend you have moved on perfectly. You need only stop making your healing dependent on someone else's next move. That is the return. Your direction becomes yours again. You stop asking another person's behavior to give you permission to continue living. You stop waiting for a final sign before you begin restoring your own rhythm. You stop keeping one part of yourself permanently pointed backward. You turn toward the life that is actually here. Not because you know exactly what it contains, because you know you want to meet it with yourself intact. There may be something tender in admitting how far you drifted. You may remember the version of yourself who checked constantly, the version who hoped every small change meant everything, the version who could not understand why letting go felt impossible. Do not look down on her. She was trying to use someone else's response as a compass because she had forgotten that she carried direction within herself. Now you remember. You do not need to become perfect at it tonight. You only need one clear sentence to begin setting the needle back toward home. Here it is. I release the almost and return north. Do not rush through it. Let the words remain plain. I release the almost and return north. This does not mean you erase what happened. It means you stop building your direction around what never became steady. I release the almost and return north. You do not say it against anyone. You say it for yourself. There is no revenge hidden inside it. No demand that another person recognize your change. No secret promise that releasing them will cause them to return. That would still place your direction in their hands. This line asks for something different. It asks you to become loyal to your own orientation. I release the almost and return north. If part of you resists, that part deserves kindness. It may say, I am not ready. It may say, What if I let go just before things change? It may say, what if this was my only chance? It may say, what if nobody else comes? Fear often speaks in final predictions. You do not have to believe them. You also do not have to fight them. You can answer with something smaller. I am willing to return to myself. That may be enough tonight. No grand promise, no forced certainty, only willingness. I am willing to return to myself. If release feels too large, begin there. If north feels distant, begin there. If part of you is still turned toward yesterday, begin there. A compass does not arrive at north by hating the directions it passed through. It settles because it is built to orient. You can settle through repetition, truth, and choices that agree with what you now know. Tomorrow, returning to yourself may mean not sending the message you were preparing out of panic. Another day it may mean sending an honest message because silence no longer serves you. Returning is not always withdrawal. Sometimes it is speaking. Sometimes it is leaving. Sometimes it is staying and having the conversation you were avoiding. Sometimes it is asking directly instead of interpreting. Sometimes it is accepting the answer you already received through repeated behavior. The outer action changes. The inner orientation remains the same. You do not abandon yourself to secure an outcome. That is north. You do not disguise your needs to appear easier. That is north. You do not keep pouring effort into a direction that repeatedly leaves you depleted. That is north. You do not punish anyone for being unable to meet you. That is north too. You can release without contempt. You can be clear without cruelty. You can choose yourself without declaring another person bad. You can stop participating without rewriting the past. This is what makes your direction strong. It does not depend on anger. Anger can move you temporarily. Clarity can guide you much longer. The needle does not need rage to settle. It only needs freedom from constant interference. Tonight, you begin removing some of that interference. The imagined conversations, the future bargains, the rehearsed explanations, the belief that your life must remain paused until someone makes a decision. The fear that letting go means you will never experience that depth again. The assumption that one unfinished connection was your final opportunity. These thoughts can spin the needle. They cannot change north. Your future is larger than one possibility. Your capacity for connection is larger than one person's availability. Your tenderness is larger than one unfinished chapter. You do not need to know exactly where your path leads before you trust that. The compass does not reveal the whole map. It gives direction. That is enough for the next step, and the next, You may someday look back and understand things you cannot understand tonight. You may see why you stayed, why you hoped, why the ending was difficult, why the uncertainty felt familiar, why releasing it opened more room than you expected, or you may never receive a perfect explanation. Either way, your life can move. Direction does not require complete understanding. It requires a relationship with your own truth. The needle is already slowing. Not because every feeling is gone, because your attention is becoming less divided. You are no longer asking 10 different futures to tell you who you are. You are no longer turning every possibility into a command. You are no longer treating uncertainty as a destination. You are beginning to remember what steadiness feels like inside yourself. The mind may wander again. Return. The old hope may rise again. Return. A memory may warm you. Return. A lonely hour may tempt you to reopen what you already understand. Return. You do not have to condemn the movement. Only remember the direction. North remains north even while the needle is swinging. Your self-respect remains available even during moments when you doubt yourself. Your clarity does not disappear because you miss someone. Your progress does not disappear because an old thought returns. Your direction is not measured by never wavering. It is revealed by where you settle. So let the inner motion slow. You have searched enough outside yourself for a direction that could only become stable within you. You have interpreted enough mixed signals. You have negotiated with enough uncertainty. You have asked the same unanswered questions from enough angles. Tonight, the needle does not need another spin. It can quiet. It can settle. It can point home. I release the almost and return north. The more often you return to your own direction, the less appealing confusion begins to feel. Not because your heart becomes closed, because your inner life becomes less willing to live without a clear center. There was a time when uncertainty may have felt exciting. You did not know what would happen next. You waited for the next message. You wondered what the next meeting might mean. You tried to read the future from a few promising moments. Part of you may even have enjoyed the anticipation. Then anticipation became maintenance. You had to keep feeding it. A memory kept it alive. A possibility kept it alive. A kind sentence kept it alive. A brief return kept it alive. Soon the imagined future required more attention than the present connection was actually giving you. That imbalance is exhausting because imagination has no natural stopping point. Reality has edges. Imagination does not. Reality says, this is what happened. Imagination says, but what if? Reality says, this has been the pattern. Imagination says, perhaps next time will be different. Reality says, you have been carrying most of the movement. Imagination says, one more chance. There is nothing wrong with imagination. It is part of how you dream. It helps you create. It helps you see possibilities before they exist. But imagination becomes painful when it is asked to provide what reality keeps withholding. You do not need to stop dreaming. You only need to stop using dreams to excuse repeated facts. This is part of standing in your own direction. You learn to hold possibility in one hand and evidence in the other. You do not force either one to disappear. You ask which deserves more influence over your next choice. That question can change a life, not all at once, choice by choice. You may still feel tempted to return to an old pattern simply because it is familiar. Familiarity can sound persuasive. It says, "At least you know this feeling." It says, "At least there was something here." It says, "What if nothing else comes?" It says, "What if you are asking for too much?" It says, "What if you are the one who ruined it by becoming clearer?" Then the old movement begins again. The needle starts circling around somebody else's response. Your work is not to panic when this happens. Your work is to recognize the movement sooner. You say to yourself, "I know this turn." You do not follow it automatically. You wait. You breathe normally. You come back to what has already been shown. Was there consistency? Was there mutual effort? Could you speak honestly? Did you feel respected? Could you remain yourself? Those answers matter more than the temporary ache of missing what you wished the connection could become. Missing does not make something right for you. Longing does not prove compatibility. Memory does not create present capacity. You can experience all three without handing them the compass. This is one of the deepest changes in self-respect. You stop treating emotion as the only evidence. A feeling can be true without being a direction. You can still want someone and decide not to pursue them. You can still care and decline the pattern. You can still remember tenderness and refuse confusion. You can still feel a pull and choose not to organize your life around it. That choice may feel strange at first because many people were taught that strong feelings should be followed. Songs say it, stories say it, movies say it. Follow your heart. Fight for what you want. Never give up. Sometimes that advice is beautiful. Sometimes persistence is courageous. Sometimes two people need courage to move through fear together. But persistence is not sacred when it requires you to ignore what is being shown repeatedly. There are times when courage means staying. There are also times when courage means stopping. Only you can examine your situation honestly enough to know the difference. And honesty becomes easier when you no longer treat stopping as failure. You are not failing because you refuse to drag possibility across a finish line by yourself. You are not failing because someone else's direction differs from yours. You are not failing because a connection did not become what you hoped. You are learning how to distinguish desire from agreement. Not two people can desire each other and still want different lives. Two people can care and still have incompatible timing. Two people can share warmth and still lack the foundation required for a lasting bond. A meaningful meeting does not automatically create a shared road. There is dignity in accepting that. You do not have to convert every deep feeling into permanence. Some feelings can remain part of your history. They can become part of the person you are becoming. You can carry the lesson without carrying the waiting. You can carry tenderness without carrying the uncertainty. You can carry gratitude without carrying an unfinished hope forever. That is release without erasure. There are memories you do not need to destroy. There are photographs you do not need to hate. There are songs you do not need to avoid for the rest of your life. There are seasons you do not need to rewrite as mistakes. You can let them become what they actually are now. Past. Not meaningless, not shameful. Past. This word can feel sharp when part of you is still hoping for a different ending, but it can also become peaceful. Past means you are no longer required to solve it tonight. Past means you can stop rehearsing a better version. Past means the present no longer has to remain a waiting room. You are here. Your life is here. Your next choice is here. The direction you want to strengthen is here. That is where your attention belongs. When you stop negotiating with an almost, another change begins. Your expectations become cleaner. You stop calling basic consideration extraordinary. You stop being amazed when someone follows through. You stop treating clear communication as rare magic. You stop accepting prolonged ambiguity because there were a few beautiful moments. You stop feeling guilty for wanting consistency. You begin recognizing that ordinary steadiness can be deeply attractive. Someone remembers. Someone follows through. Someone says what they mean. Someone lets their actions confirm their words. Someone can say, "I cannot do this," instead of keeping you suspended. Someone can say, "I do want this," and behave accordingly. Someone can have uncertainty and still communicate it responsibly. Someone can care for you without requiring you to become their interpreter. This kind of connection may feel less dramatic than what once consumed you. That can be a good sign. Peace does not always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives as the absence of confusion. Sometimes it is waking up without wondering where you stand. Sometimes it is being able to say what you feel without rehearsing for an hour. Sometimes it is knowing disagreement will not automatically become disappearance. Sometimes it is having your own day, your own interests, your own friendships, your own plans without fearing that independence. It will cost you closeness. Sometimes it is being able to hear no without collapsing. Sometimes it is being able to say no without fearing punishment. This is not a fantasy of perfect connection. There will still be differences. There will be difficult mornings. There will be misread moments. There will be days when someone is tired, distracted, grieving, stressed, or unsure. The goal is not flawless behavior. It is a pattern that contains enough honesty and mutual care that neither person must keep disappearing to preserve it. That pattern begins with what you decide to participate in. Your standards are not a weapon. They are not a test designed to eliminate imperfect people. They are not a performance of superiority. They are a quiet description of what helps you remain whole. You do not need to announce them dramatically. You live them. You live them when you stop answering from panic. You live them when you do not cancel something important because someone finally became available at the last minute. You live them when you say what you mean without adding 5 paragraphs of defense. You live them when you decline what repeatedly leaves you unsettled. You live them when you stop rewarding inconsistency with unlimited access. You live them when you give yourself the same consideration you so easily offer others. This is where boundaries become less frightening. A boundary is not a threat. It is not, do this or else. It is, if this continues, I know what I will choose. The other person remains free. You remain free too. That freedom is important. You are not trying to control another human being into behaving exactly as you prefer. You are deciding which conditions support the kind of life you want to live. Someone may disagree with your boundary. They may find it inconvenient. They may prefer the older version of you who accommodated more. They may even tell you that you have changed. They may be right. You are changing. You are becoming less available for arrangements that require constant self-betrayal. That does not make you cold. It makes your yes more meaningful. When you no longer say yes automatically, your yes carries truth. When you no longer stay from fear, your staying carries choice. When you no longer overgive to secure closeness, your generosity becomes cleaner. You can give because you want to give, not because you are trying to prevent departure. You can help without turning help into a hidden contract. You can care without expecting care to purchase loyalty. You can offer tenderness without using tenderness as a strategy. This is emotional freedom. Your actions stop carrying secret bargains. You no longer think, if I do enough, they will finally see. You no longer think, if I am patient enough, they will eventually choose. You no longer think, if I ask for nothing, I will become impossible to leave. Those bargains were never fair to you. They were also impossible for another person to fulfill because they often remained unspoken. Now your relationships can become more honest. You give because giving matches your character. You speak because speaking matches your truth. You stay because staying agrees with your direction. You leave because leaving becomes necessary for your peace. Each action belongs to you. That is the difference. The compass becomes less reactive. It does not swing every time someone approves of you. It does not collapse when someone cannot meet you. It does not change north because somebody prefers another direction. You may still feel disappointment. You may still cry. You may still need time. Self-respect does not make you immune to grief. It gives grief a floor. You hurt without disappearing. You mourn without making another person's decision the definition of you. You recover without needing to rewrite yourself as unwanted. You keep your direction while your heart catches up. There may be nights when the old almost comes back vividly. A scent, a date, a memory, a place, a dream, a sentence you suddenly remember. For a moment you may feel everything again. Do not mistake that moment for a command. Memory can be strong. It cannot decide for you unless you hand it that power. You can let the wave pass through. You can remember the facts beside the feeling. You can return north. You are not trying to become someone who never looks backward. You are becoming someone who knows which way to walk afterward. That distinction will protect many years of your life. It will also help you recognize a healthier connection when one appears. Because if your inner direction is steady, you will not need a person to rescue you from emptiness. You will be able to meet them as a whole human being. Curious, open, interested, hopeful, but still rooted in your own life. You will be able to ask, "Who are you?" instead of only, "Do you want me?" You will be able to observe how you feel around them instead of performing the version of yourself you think they prefer. You will be able to let interest unfold without immediately attaching your entire future to it. You will be able to enjoy what is happening without demanding that every beautiful moment become a guarantee. You will be able to take your time too. That may be new. People who have feared being left often forget that they are also choosing. They become so focused on being accepted that they skip their own discernment. Do I actually like the way this person lives? Do our values fit? Do I feel respected? Can we communicate? Can we repair? Do I trust how they handle disappointment? Do I like who I become around them? These are powerful questions because they restore reciprocity to the process. You are not standing still while someone evaluates you. You are meeting each other. Both people are learning. Both people are choosing. Both people are free. That is a healthier posture. It does not need games. It does not need calculated delay. It does not need pretending. It does not need scarcity tricks. It does not need emotional manipulation disguised as confidence. You can be warm and discerning at the same time. You can be interested without over-investing immediately. You can respond naturally without abandoning your day. You can let attraction exist without making it your entire identity. You can let another person reveal themselves through time. This is one reason calm can become so powerful. Calm gives reality time to speak. When you are rushing to secure something, you may fill in missing information with hope. When you are grounded, you can wait long enough to see patterns. You hear words. Then you see whether behavior supports them. You experience attraction. Then you see whether character supports it. You feel possibility. Then you see whether shared intention supports it. No part has to be rushed. What truly belongs in your life does not require you to abandon discernment to keep it there. This is the heart of tonight's return. You are not becoming harder to reach. You are becoming harder to remove from yourself. You are not trying to create distance. You are creating inner steadiness. You are not closing the future. You are clearing space within it. You are not promising yourself that a particular person will appear. You are preparing to recognize healthier reciprocity when it does. That is a promise you can participate in. Your readiness, your honesty, your choices, your ability to leave what repeatedly violates your peace, your ability to stay open without begging. These belong within your influence. The rest remains free. Another person's heart is free. Another person's timing is free. Another person's choice is free. You do not need to take that freedom away in order to trust your own future. You can let people choose, and you can listen to what their choices tell you. If someone chooses distance, you do not have to pursue an explanation forever. If someone chooses inconsistency repeatedly, you can take the pattern seriously. If someone chooses openness, you can meet it with openness. If someone chooses repair, you can decide whether repair feels right. If someone chooses you clearly, you are still permitted to take your time. Being wanted does not obligate you. Attention is not a debt. Affection is not a contract. You remain free too. This is how you stop living as though any invitation must be accepted because you have waited so long to receive one. You are not waiting to be rescued by selection. You are building a life from which you can choose carefully. That life may include partnership. It may include deep friendship. It may include solitude that feels richer than the half-presence you once accepted. It may include seasons of rebuilding. It may include unexpected directions. You do not have to know the full map. Keep the needle clear. Keep returning. I release the almost and return north. This time, let the sentence become less about the past. Let it become about how you walk forward. I release the almost and return north. You are not only releasing a person, you are releasing a posture. The posture of waiting to be decided upon. The posture of proving. The posture of interpreting. The posture of keeping yourself available to uncertainty because certainty has not yet arrived elsewhere. You do not need a replacement before you release what drains you. That is important. Many people stay attached to what is insufficient because the empty space afterward frightens them. They want a guarantee before they let go. A new person, a new possibility, proof that something better is coming. But self-respect sometimes asks you to choose empty space before you know what will fill it. That space is not failure. It is room. Room to hear yourself again. Room to recover your rhythms. Room to remember what you enjoy when nobody is occupying your imagination. Room to discover which desires were truly yours and which grew from trying to fit somebody else's life. Room for a future you cannot yet name. You do not have to decorate the room immediately. You do not have to fill the silence. You do not have to prove the decision was correct by finding someone else quickly. Let space be space. A compass can point north across an open field just as faithfully as it can on a crowded road. You do not need constant motion to have direction. Stillness can contain direction too. This is especially important at night. The mind sometimes believes that because the body has stopped moving, it should begin solving everything. It reviews, it predicts, it reconstructs. It tries to determine what tomorrow should mean. You can give it another task, not solving, returning. If an old conversation appears, return. If you begin imagining what someone might be doing, return. If you feel the urge to prove that you are over it, return. If you begin blaming yourself, return. If you begin idealizing what happened, return. Back to your own direction. Back to the truth that does not need constant argument. Back to the part of you that can remain steady even while feelings move. You may want company on this kind of night. If these words help you stay rooted in that direction, you can subscribe and stay close to this space as you keep choosing relationships that meet you with greater clarity. Then come back to yourself. The point is not the channel. The point is the life you are rebuilding inside your own hands. No voice outside you should replace your own discernment. These words can accompany you. They cannot make decisions for you. They can remind you of what you already know. You remain the one who lives it. That includes knowing when a situation requires more than reflection. If a connection threatens your physical safety, isolates you, controls you, frightens you, humiliates you, or repeatedly harms your body or spirit, affirmations are not a substitute for real support. You deserve practical help. Trusted people matter. Qualified support matters. Safety planning can matter. Stepping away can matter. There is no spiritual prize for enduring harm. There is no higher form of devotion that requires you to remain unsafe. Your inner compass does not ask you to romanticize danger. It asks you to take your life seriously. For ordinary heartbreak and uncertainty, these reflections can help you return to yourself. For harm, seek real help. Your safety comes first. You do not have to prove your strength by handling everything alone. Strength can include reaching toward people who are able to support you clearly. That too is direction. The deepest standard is not perfection. It is self-loyalty. You can make mistakes and remain loyal to yourself. You can return to an old pattern once and still return again. You can have a weak evening without undoing months of growth. You can answer a message you later wish you had ignored. You can become hopeful again. You can change your mind. Growth is not a straight line. The compass metaphor itself teaches this. A needle can be disturbed repeatedly and still orient again. Its movement does not invalidate its direction. Neither does yours. Do not turn one moment of wavering into a verdict about your future. Do not say, "I am back at the beginning." You are not. You have information now. You have language now. You recognize the feeling sooner. You understand the pattern. You know what return means. Use what you know. No punishment. Return. No self-attack. Return. No dramatic promise. Return. You are strengthening a direction, not passing an exam. There will be moments when choosing yourself feels easy. There will be others when every old habit argues against it. Both belong to the process. What matters is where you settle. You can be shaken. You can spin. You can tilt. You can lose your sense of orientation for a while. North does not disappear. Your task is not to hold the needle still with force. Your task is to stop feeding the movements that keep you permanently turned away from yourself. The needless checking, the invented futures, the silent bargaining, the repeated self-doubt, the belief that being alone for a while means being forgotten, the fear that clarity will make you less desirable. Let those movements slow one by one. You do not need to become impressive tonight. You do not need to become irresistible. You do not need to transform yourself into somebody impossible to overlook. You only need to become more available to your own truth. The rest can unfold without being forced. Readiness has a different feeling from desperation. Readiness says, "I can welcome what is mutual." Desperation says, "I need something to happen so I can feel secure." Readiness leaves room for discernment. Desperation rushes. Readiness can hear no. Readiness can wait without suspending life. Readiness can enjoy attraction without surrendering judgment. Readiness can walk away from what does not fit. You are cultivating readiness, not an outcome, not a guarantee. A posture, an orientation, a way of standing inside your own life. This is why your direction matters more than prediction. Prediction tries to tell you who will come. Direction tells you who you will be when life meets you. Prediction tries to tell you when everything will change. Direction changes the way you participate now. Prediction keeps your attention in tomorrow. Direction brings it back into your hands. You do not have to know the name of the person who may one day walk beside you. You do not have to know the date. You do not have to know how the meeting happens. You only need to become less willing to abandon yourself when possibility appears. That is enough preparation. Keep your direction. Keep your voice. Keep your life. Keep the parts of you that once disappeared into waiting. Let someone meet you there. Not in the version of you designed to be chosen. In you, the real you, the clear you, the tender you, the discerning you, the one who can care without collapsing, the one who can hope without begging, the one who can open without losing direction. The needle grows still through truth. Your life can too. I release the almost and return north. By now, you may feel the difference between wanting something and losing your direction inside it. That difference is subtle at first. You can still desire closeness. You can still hope for tenderness. You can still imagine a future shared with someone. You can still enjoy being wanted. None of that has to disappear. What changes is the place from which the desire rises. It no longer begins with panic. It no longer begins with the belief that you must secure someone before they disappear. It no longer begins with the fear that this is your last chance. It no longer begins with the idea that being chosen would finally settle everything inside you. You are learning another posture, open but not desperate, warm but not self-erasing, hopeful but not blind, available but not endlessly accessible to uncertainty. You can want deeply without making desire your ruler. You can care without turning care into a chase. You can feel attraction without treating it as instruction. You can let possibility enter your life and still remain oriented. This is where your standards stop feeling like barriers and start feeling like direction. They do not keep love away. They help you recognize what can actually stay. A compass is useful because it does not point toward everything. If it pointed toward every direction at once, it would become meaningless. Its value comes from steadiness. Your own clarity works the same way. If every form of attention becomes equally important, you lose direction. If every invitation receives the same access to you, you lose direction. If every spark is treated like destiny, you lose direction. If every return from an inconsistent person is accepted as proof that everything has changed, you lose direction. Your life becomes calmer when you stop making every signal sacred. Not every message is a sign. Not every coincidence carries instruction. Not every strong feeling predicts a future. Not every return means permanence. Not every silence means rejection either. You do not have to live inside interpretation. You can live inside observation. You can let people show you who they are through time. You can let patterns become visible without rushing to label them. You can give connection room to unfold while still staying loyal to yourself. This is a more mature kind of openness. It contains patience without self-abandonment. It contains curiosity without obsession. It contains attraction without urgency. It contains possibility without fantasy taking over the whole map. You stop forcing certainty where certainty does not yet exist. You also stop pretending uncertainty is enough when it has gone on too long. Both forms of honesty matter. There may be someone who genuinely needs time. You can respect that. You can also decide whether their pace works for your life. There may be someone who cares but cannot offer more. You can respect that. You can also decline to remain in a position that keeps hurting you. There may be someone who is kind but incompatible. You can respect that too. Not every ending needs an accusation. Sometimes two directions are simply not the same. You do not need to turn incompatibility into rejection of your value. That is one of the old habits you are leaving behind. When something does not work, you no longer rush to ask, "What is wrong with me?" You ask, "What is true here?" That question is cleaner. It does not make you the problem. It does not make them the problem. It looks at reality. Reality may say the timing does not fit. Reality may say the effort is unequal. Reality may say the values differ. Reality may say one person wants more. Reality may say someone is not ready. Reality may say the connection is warm but not sustainable. Reality may say the pattern has become too painful. Truth does not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it is quiet enough that you can ignore it for months. You keep hoping the needle will settle somewhere else. You keep shaking the compass with another conversation, another chance, another explanation, another attempt to make what is not aligned feel aligned. Eventually, the movement becomes exhausting. You begin to realize that all the shaking has never changed north. What is true remains true even when you are not ready to accept it. Acceptance does not create the truth. It stops the fight against it. This can feel like loss at first. Then it begins to feel like space. You no longer have to maintain the fantasy. You no longer have to explain the imbalance. You no longer have to create a future from fragments. You no longer have to keep proving that something meaningful happened. You are free to ask a simpler question. What kind of relationship can hold me without asking me to disappear? That question is not about perfection. It is about fit. You may need communication. Someone else may prefer long periods of distance. Neither person is automatically wrong. The issue is whether those needs can live together without one person constantly suffering. You may need directness. Someone else may be more indirect. Again, neither person must be condemned. But if the difference repeatedly creates distress, the difference matters. You may need consistency. Someone else may be comfortable with unpredictability. You do not have to make them bad. You do not have to make yourself needy. You can call it what it is: a mismatch. This language protects dignity on both sides. Not everything has to be moralized. You do not need to prove that another person is terrible before you are permitted to leave. You do not need evidence of betrayal. You do not need a dramatic ending. You do not need a courtroom inside your head. Sometimes, "This does not support the life I want," is enough. You are permitted to make choices before exhaustion becomes collapse. You are permitted to believe patterns before they become disasters. You are permitted to move when the direction is clear enough. You are permitted to stop waiting for absolute certainty. That is what standards can do. They help you choose before desperation makes the choice for you. They help you remember that access to your time, care, body, attention, and emotional world is meaningful. Not because you are above anyone, because these things are limited. Your life has a shape. Your days are finite. Your attention cannot be everywhere. Your heart cannot continuously pour into uncertainty without consequence. Your standards are one way you protect your capacity to give fully where giving can be met. There is nothing selfish about this. The right boundary often makes generosity healthier. You give more freely when you are not giving from fear. You can be affectionate without tracking whether the affection is returned in exactly the same form. You can support someone without hoping support will finally make them commit. You can be kind without secretly using kindness as a bridge to an outcome. You can enjoy closeness without demanding that closeness erase all future uncertainty. The difference is inner honesty. Why am I doing this? Because I want to, or because I am afraid what will happen if I stop? That question can reveal many things. If you send the message because you sincerely want to connect, send it. If you send it because silence has become unbearable and you need reassurance immediately, pause long enough to understand yourself. If you offer help because you genuinely have room, offer it. If you offer because you hope being useful will make you harder to leave, come back to yourself first. If you say yes because yes feels good, say yes. If you say yes because no feels dangerous, listen carefully. Your actions may look identical from the outside. The inner direction can be completely different. Self-respect is often invisible. It lives in the reason behind the choice. This is why no list of rules can replace your own discernment. You cannot reduce healthy connection to message timing, or how many times someone calls, or who initiates first. People differ. Circumstances differ. What matters is whether the overall pattern leaves room for mutuality, honesty, and peace. You are learning to feel the whole pattern, not one perfect evening, not one painful afternoon. The pattern. Does it move toward clarity? Does repair happen? Is interest sustained? Can both people bring needs into the room? Is there room for difference without punishment? Can you remain yourself? Does your life expand or contract around the connection? These questions help the needle settle. They keep you from being carried away by isolated moments. A person can be charming for one night. A promise can be beautiful for one conversation. An apology can sound sincere. A reunion can feel powerful. Time reveals whether the direction has actually changed. You no longer have to decide from the most intense moment. You can give truth time to become visible. That is not distrust. It is wisdom. And wisdom does not need to be suspicious. It can remain warm. You can enjoy the moment and still observe. You can accept an apology and still watch what follows. You can hear a promise and still let action confirm it. You can forgive someone and still decide that access has changed. Forgiveness does not require reopening every door. Compassion does not require returning to every old position. A soft heart can have a clear direction. Remember that. Soft does not mean unguarded. Open does not mean unbounded. Loving does not mean available to everything. Kind does not mean endlessly accommodating. You are allowed to have form. The compass itself has a shape, a circle, a center, a needle. Direction becomes possible because structure exists. Your life also needs structure, time that belongs to you, values that guide you, commitments you keep to yourself, boundaries that protect your peace, people who do not require constant proving, practices that bring you back when the needle starts spinning. Without structure, every new emotion can become a new direction. With structure, emotion can move through without taking the whole life with it. This is not rigidity. Rigidity refuses new information. Groundedness can adapt. You may discover that something you once thought was unacceptable is workable in a healthy context. You may discover that something you once tolerated is no longer workable. Growth changes your understanding. The point is not to create unbreakable rules. The point is to become honest enough to recognize what supports you now. You are allowed to update your own compass. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to become more discerning. You are allowed to become softer, too. Sometimes growth will make a boundary firmer. Sometimes it will help you relax one that was built entirely from fear. You do not have to know everything in advance. You only need to stay in relationship with yourself. That is what keeps standards from becoming armor. Armor says, nobody gets close. Direction says, closeness is welcome where respect lives. Armor says, never trust. Direction says, Trust can grow through consistent evidence. Armor says, I will leave before anyone can hurt me. Direction says, I can stay present and still respond if harm becomes a pattern. Armor protects by closing. Direction protects by guiding. You are not trying to become impossible to hurt. That would require becoming impossible to reach. You are learning how to remain reachable without becoming easily removed from your own center. This is a different kind of courage. Real closeness always carries risk. Someone can disappoint you. Someone can change. Someone can leave. You can change too. No standard removes all uncertainty from life. No affirmation can guarantee permanence. What you can build is confidence in your ability to face what happens without abandoning yourself. That confidence is much stronger than trying to control an outcome. You can say, I cannot guarantee who stays, but I can stay with myself. You can say, I cannot guarantee that every connection works, but I can listen to what it teaches me. You can say, I cannot guarantee I will never feel heartbreak again, but I do not have to betray myself to avoid it. This is mature hope. It does not ask life for impossible guarantees. It asks you to become trustworthy to yourself. That trust changes the way you receive. When kindness comes, you do not immediately question whether you deserve it. You let it land. When someone offers clear interest, you do not have to perform surprise. You can accept the warmth. When someone respects your boundary, you do not have to apologize for having one. When someone follows through, you do not have to reward basic consistency as though it were miraculous. You can appreciate it as part of healthy connection. Receiving is not only about opening your hands. It is about no longer pushing away what is steady, because chaos feels more familiar. That can take practice. If you have spent a long time around uncertainty, calm attention may initially feel suspicious. You may think, where is the catch? You may become restless when nothing needs to be solved. You may look for hidden problems. You may interpret steadiness as boredom. This does not mean you are incapable of healthy closeness. It means your system is learning a different rhythm. Give it time. Do not force attraction. Do not force yourself to prefer someone merely because they are consistent. Compatibility still matters. Desire still matters. But let steadiness become part of what you value, rather than something you dismiss because it lacks drama. Let ordinary goodness become visible. Someone remembering what you said. Someone checking in without being prompted. Someone making a plan and keeping it. Someone telling you when they cannot. Someone taking responsibility after a mistake. someone respecting your pace, someone asking about your world, someone leaving room for your no, someone not making you pay emotionally for honesty. These are quiet signs. They do not make good chaos. They make good ground. Ground is what lets a future be built. You can stand there without constantly checking whether it will disappear beneath your feet. You can breathe there. You can sleep there. You can bring more of yourself there because so much of your attention is not being spent on defense. This is why standards are not about making relationships harder. They can make intimacy deeper. When you know you are not staying at any cost, honesty becomes easier. You do not have to manipulate. You do not have to hide. You do not have to pretend. You can say what is true because you trust yourself to survive the answer. That is freedom. You can ask, "What do you want?" You can say, "This is what I want." You can hear difference. You can make choices. You can grieve. You can continue. You can meet again. You do not have to remain trapped in half answers. Your direction is stronger than that now. And when you feel tempted to lower what matters to you just because someone is attractive, remember the compass, shake it, spin it, tilt it. The needle can move, north does not. Attraction can move you, loneliness can move you, hope can move you, fear can move you. A beautiful evening can move you, a disappointing week can move you. None of these must become north. North is deeper. North is the direction in which you remain whole. North is the place where your voice still belongs to you. North is the place where care moves both ways, often enough to be felt. North is the place where honesty has somewhere to land. North is the place where your needs do not have to disappear for connection to continue. North is the place where you can be chosen without stopping the practice of choosing for yourself. This is why the core line continues to matter. I release the almost and return north. You may now hear it differently. Earlier, it was about bringing your attention home. Now it is about the kind of life you are building from that returned attention. I release the almost and return north. Not only the person, the pattern, not only the memory, the posture, not only the waiting, the belief that waiting proves devotion, not only the uncertainty, the habit of calling uncertainty romance, not only the fragments, the hunger that made fragments look like a feast. You do not shame yourself for any of it. You learn. Then you choose again. I release the almost and return north. You can say it without forcing yourself to feel fully ready. Readiness often grows after action. You may still miss someone when you decide not to contact them. You may still cry after setting a boundary. You may still feel lonely after leaving an arrangement that was not working. The right choice does not always create immediate relief. Sometimes it creates grief first. That does not automatically mean the choice was wrong. A compass can point north while your feet are still tired from the journey. Keep the direction. Let the feelings catch up. Do not demand instant transformation from yourself. You are not replacing one form of pressure with another. You do not have to wake tomorrow completely detached. You do not have to prove that tonight changed everything. This is not a performance. It is a practice. A little less reaching, a little more listening, a little less interpreting, a little more observing, a little less bargaining, a little more truth, a little less fear of empty space, a little more confidence in your ability to meet what comes. This is enough. If resistance still says, "I cannot let go," answer softly, "I can stop feeding what hurts." If resistance says, "I need to know how this ends," answer, "I can live without the final answer tonight." If resistance says, "What if I never find anything deeper?" Answer, "I do not need to predict my whole future." If resistance says, "What if leaving means losing my chance?" Answer, "I can choose what protects my peace now." These smaller lines matter because the nervous system often trusts what feels believable. You do not need to force grand certainty. Willingness is enough. Direction is enough. One honest choice is enough, then another. You begin to understand that the real opposite of half-hearted connection is not dramatic devotion. It is steadiness, not intensity every day. Steadiness, not constant proof. Steadiness, not endless reassurance. Steadiness. A rhythm you can live inside. A rhythm that leaves room for work, rest, friends, dreams, silence, laughter, solitude. A rhythm that does not consume every part of you. A healthy bond should not require your entire nervous system as payment. It should add to your life without becoming the only place where life seems to happen. You remain a whole person. That is part of what you are reclaiming tonight. Your interests, your routines, your ambitions, your quiet mornings, your private thoughts, your friendships, your future, your body, your time, your sleep. None of these are secondary to romance. A connection that asks you to abandon all of them is not proof of depth. You are allowed to have a life large enough that love joins it rather than replaces it. This makes receiving healthier too. You no longer ask another person to become your entire source of meaning. You can enjoy closeness without demanding that it carry every need. You can have different kinds of support, different kinds of joy, different places where you belong. This makes the heart less desperate. It does not make it less devoted. You can be deeply committed and still have a self. That is part of mature partnership. Two whole lives learning how to share direction without swallowing each other. The compass does not need another compass to become valid. It can stand alone and still point. When two people travel together, each still needs an inner direction. Otherwise, closeness becomes dependence. You are rebuilding yours. And because you are rebuilding it, you may start recognizing something important. You do not need to become more desirable in order to be treated with respect. You do not need to improve enough to deserve clarity. You do not need to earn honesty by being easy. You do not need to become perfectly healed before you are permitted to have expectations. You can still have insecurities. You can still have habits you are working on. You can still have difficult days. You can still deserve respectful treatment. Your imperfections do not cancel your boundaries. Your past does not cancel your voice. Your loneliness does not mean you should accept whatever is offered. Your desire does not require surrender. This is where standards become compassionate rather than punishing. You are not saying, I am too good for people. You are saying, I want relationships where both people can remain human and still treat each other with care. You are not saying, nobody may ever disappoint me. You are saying, repeated disregard changes what I choose. You are not saying, someone must always know exactly what they want. You are saying, their uncertainty cannot become my permanent home. That is reasonable. That is grounded. That leaves room for humanity without turning self-sacrifice into a virtue. And because this work is grounded, it also respects reality when a situation becomes harmful. If someone controls where you go, isolates you from people you trust, threatens you, frightens you, pressures you sexually, harms you physically, humiliates you repeatedly, monitors you, or makes you fear what may happen if you speak honestly, your task is not to become better at affirming your value inside the situation. Safety deserves practical attention. Real support matters. Trusted people matter. Professional help can matter. A plan for leaving safely can matter. There is no wisdom in romanticizing harm. There is no spiritual lesson that requires you to remain in danger. These words can support your sense of self. They are not a substitute for safety. Remember that with kindness toward yourself. You do not have to handle serious harm alone. Seeking help is not failure, it is direction. For the ordinary wounds of unreturned feeling, mixed signals, disappointment, and attachment, keep working with clarity. For danger, choose support. Both choices honor your life. Tonight, you are not being asked to make dramatic declarations. You are being asked to become more faithful to your direction. That can look very quiet. It may look like sleeping instead of checking. It may look like leaving a message unanswered until morning because your body needs rest. It may look like keeping the plan you made for yourself. It may look like saying, I need clarity, without writing an essay to justify the need. It may look like accepting a disappointing answer instead of trying to negotiate it into a different one. It may look like recognizing that no answer is sometimes also information. It may look like refusing to fill every silence. It may look like receiving kindness without suspicion. It may look like letting someone else make effort. It may look like allowing yourself to be pursued without turning pursuit into proof of permanence. It may look like taking your time. Taking your time can be powerful. You do not have to decide immediately because someone has shown interest. You do not have to become emotionally committed before you know who they are. You do not have to surrender your routines because the beginning feels exciting. You can let a connection unfold. You can enjoy what is good. You can remain curious. You can stay awake to reality. You are allowed to be the one who observes too. You are allowed to ask whether someone fits your life. You are allowed to decide that attraction alone is not enough. You are allowed to want igual character beside chemistry, clarity beside warmth, reliability beside charm, kindness beside excitement, reciprocity beside desire. You do not need every quality in perfect form. You do need enough of what matters to you that your heart does not live in constant negotiation. That is your direction. Keep it. The needle is steadier now. You can feel the difference. The old pattern demanded constant motion. This one asks for stillness. The old pattern asked, how do I get them to choose me? This one asks, what am I choosing? The old pattern asked, what can I do to keep this? This one asks, what does keeping this cost me? The old pattern asked, what if I lose them? This one asks, what if I lose myself? You already know which question points north. Let that answer settle. No rush, no performance, no proving, only direction. I release the almost and return north. Your attention comes home. Your standards become clear. Your heart stays open. Your life remains yours. And from that place, you become available for what can meet you without asking you to turn against yourself. There is nothing left for you to prove tonight. The compass has done what it was made to do. It has moved through disturbance without becoming the disturbance. It has crossed every direction without confusing movement with truth. It has been shaken, turned, tilted, and spun, and still there is a quiet place inside the circle where orientation returns. You have that place too. You do not have to force yourself into it. You do not have to become completely certain before you sleep. You do not have to erase every memory, settle every question, or predict what tomorrow will bring. You only have to stop feeding the movements that keep pulling you away from yourself. A thought may come, let it pass through. A memory may rise. Let it be a memory. A name may enter your mind. It does not have to become a road. An old hope may return for a moment. It does not have to become a decision. You can feel what you feel without turning every feeling into a command. This is one of the quiet freedoms you have been building all night. You are no longer required to answer every inner pull. You are no longer required to follow every imagined future. You are no longer required to keep a half-open possibility alive because closing it feels final. Some endings become merciful only after you stop asking them to become beginnings again. That does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop confusing care with obligation. It means you stop thinking that because something touched your heart, it must keep occupying your life. It means you can hold tenderness without holding the door forever. The needle can remember where it has traveled and still settle north. So can you. Let the old pattern become less personal now. It was a pattern. A way you learned to respond when connection felt uncertain. A way of reaching for stability outside yourself. A way of trying to calm fear through effort. A way of hoping that if you remained available long enough, clarity would eventually arrive. You know more now. You know that another person's uncertainty cannot become your permanent assignment. You know that waiting is not always devotion. You know that understanding someone's reasons does not require you to live with the consequences indefinitely. You know that a beautiful possibility is still only a possibility until two people build something real together. You know that you are permitted to take patterns seriously. You know that peace is not boring simply because chaos once felt familiar. You know that a clear no can sometimes be kinder to your life than an endless maybe. You know that you can survive disappointment without turning against yourself. And you know that you can remain open to what comes next without using the future to escape the present. That is enough direction for tonight. You do not need the whole map. The needle never gives the whole map. It gives one faithful orientation. That is all. There is something beautiful about becoming a person who can trust one faithful orientation. You stop demanding that every moment reassure you. You stop expecting every connection to announce its destiny immediately. You stop trying to turn uncertainty into certainty through effort alone. You become willing to let time reveal what words cannot. You become willing to let actions carry their own meaning. You become willing to accept that some people will not be able to travel in the direction you need. You do not curse them. You do not curse yourself. You adjust your path. That is all a compass asks. It does not resent south for being south. It does not accuse east of failing to become north. It does not beg west to change. It recognizes direction, then it points. You can bring that same simplicity into your relationships. Someone can be a good person and still not be right for your life. Someone can care and still be unable to offer the kind of connection you need. Someone can have beautiful qualities and still leave you chronically unsettled. Someone can mean well and still move in a direction that does not fit yours. You do not have to reduce anyone to a villain before you choose differently. You do not have to make your heart hard to make your choices clear. You can bless what was meaningful without rebuilding what was unstable. You can appreciate what you learned without signing yourself up for another round of the same lesson. You can say inwardly, I understand more now. Then you can rest. There is no prize for staying awake inside a question that has already taken too many nights. There is no proof of devotion in repeatedly exhausting yourself. There is no special virtue in being endlessly available to what never. Become steady. Your life asks for presence. Your body asks for rest. Your future asks for room. Give them that room, not with a dramatic act, with a quieter decision. Tonight belongs to you. Your mind can stop working on someone else's readiness. Your heart can stop rehearsing possibilities. Your hands do not need to reach for the phone. Your eyes do not need to search for signs. Your imagination does not need another assignment. The compass is already in your palm. It is still. It does not need another shake. You have spent enough time trying to find direction in someone else's movement. Now direction comes from what you know about yourself. You know you want truth spoken plainly. You know you want care that does not require constant interpretation. You know you want room to remain yourself. You know you want mutual effort. You know you want a bond that can survive honesty. You know you want your body to feel safer, not permanently braced. You know you want a future that is built by two people, not imagined by one. Those truths do not guarantee who will walk beside you. They do something more useful. They help you recognize which direction is yours. Keep that. You can loosen everything else. The future does not need to be forced open tonight. It can remain unwritten. There is freedom in an unwritten future. It means you have not missed every good thing because one possibility did not become permanent. It means life is not required to repeat the same pattern. It means you can make different choices because you now recognize yourself sooner. It means you can move slowly when something new arrives. It means you can let another person reveal their character before your imagination writes the entire ending. It means you can keep your routines, your friendships, your interests, and your voice while attraction grows. It means you can be wanted without becoming dependent on being wanted. It means you can be disappointed without deciding you are unwanted. It means you can be alone for a season without treating solitude as proof that you chose wrongly. It means you can become familiar with your own company again. There is much of you still here, more than the part that waited, more than the part that hoped, more than the part that replayed old conversations. There is a whole person behind those habits, a person with preferences, a person with humor, a person with curiosity, a person with work to do and mornings to live, a person whose attention can create, learn, rest, build, laugh, cook, walk, read, plan, and begin again. That person was never gone. She was only crowded by uncertainty. The room is opening now. Let her have it. Let her choose what she wants to think about. Let her make plans that do not depend on anyone's reply. Let her enjoy a day without secretly measuring whether she was remembered. Let her become interested in her own future again. Let her trust that being clear does not make her difficult. Let her learn that a boundary can protect tenderness rather than destroy it. Let her see that saying no to half-presence creates room for fuller living, whether partnership arrives soon, much later, or in a form she cannot yet imagine. The promise is not that someone specific is coming. The promise is that you can meet your future without abandoning yourself in advance. You can live it tomorrow. You can return whenever the old spinning begins. You can remember the compass, shake it, spin it, tilt it. Then watch what happens when nothing interferes with it. The movement slows, the arc narrows, the needle finds its line. It does not become what north wants. It does not earn north. It does not impress north. It settles into alignment. This is the lesson you can carry beyond tonight. What fits your deepest values does not require you to wander endlessly in search of your own direction. You may still need courage. You may still need conversations. You may still need patience. You may still have to make difficult decisions. But you do not have to become a stranger to yourself in the process. That is the line. That is the direction. That is north. And now the words can become quieter. You have understood enough for one night. The mind does not need another argument. The heart does not need another lecture. Let the remaining work happen through rest. Not because sleep magically solves relationships, because a rested mind often sees more clearly than an exhausted one. Because your body deserves hours in which nobody else's behavior is being studied. Because tomorrow does not need you depleted before it begins. Because rest is part of returning to yourself. You can place the day down now. You can place the unanswered questions down beside it. You can place the imagined futures down. You can place the old conversations down. You do not have to throw them away. Only stop holding them through the night. The compass is safe in your hand. The needle can settle without your supervision. Your direction will still be there in the morning. Now let these words become your own quiet rain. I am loyal to my direction. I choose what chooses me clearly. I trust consistent actions. I honor what I need. I keep my voice with me. I remain whole in connection. I welcome mutual effort. I value clear intention. I choose peace over guessing. I let patterns speak honestly. I stop proving my place. I trust myself to choose. I can care without clinging. I can hope without waiting for. I can miss someone and continue. I can grieve and move forward. I can be open and discerning. I can be tender and clear. I can say what is true. I can hear what is true. I do not need to persuade. I do not need to perform. I do not need to audition. I do not bargain with confusion. I let reality be clear. I protect my peaceful life. I trust the pattern I see. I choose reciprocal connection. I keep my own center. I welcome honest closeness. I make room for steadiness. I release unfinished possibility. I return to myself. I trust my direction. I choose clear paths. I remain self-loyal. I can let go. I can move forward. I can rest now. I am still here. I am my home. I choose truth. I choose peace. I stay centered. I trust myself. I am steady. I am clear. I am safe. I am here. Now let your body hear what the mind no longer needs to solve. Release the forehead. Release the space around the eyes. Release the jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Release the neck. Release the shoulders. Release the weight held across the chest. Release the hands. Release the fingers. Release the stomach. Release the hips. Release the thighs. Release the knees. Release the calves. Release the ankles. Release the feet. Release today's waiting. Release today's guessing. Release the unfinished reply. Release the unanswered question. Release the need to know tonight. Release the future you rehearsed. Release the sentence you keep rewriting. Release the moment you keep correcting. Release the wish to be understood by everyone. Release the need to make the past agree with you. Release the pressure to be completely healed. Release the demand for instant certainty. Release the urge to measure your progress. Release the fear of empty space. Release the old direction. Your breathing can find its own rhythm. Nothing special is required. The body knows how to breathe without instruction. The heart knows how to beat while you sleep. The night does not need your management. Neither does someone else's heart. Let what belongs to them remain with them. Their choices, their timing, their questions, their path. Let what belongs to you remain with you. Your choices, your truth, your direction, your rest. This division is peaceful. You do not have to carry both sides anymore. You do not have to solve what another person has not chosen to solve. You do not have to keep the connection alive inside your mind while your body is asking for sleep. Tonight, nothing is gained by another hour of thinking. The answer you need most is already here. You can remain with yourself, even when someone leaves, even when someone is uncertain, even when a possibility ends, even when the future is blank. You can remain, you can stay, you can stand. The needle settles, the circle becomes quiet. North remains. No struggle, no proving, no pursuit, only direction, only truth, only rest. If one last memory arrives, let it cross the circle. It can move through without moving you with it. If one last question appears, you do not have to answer. Morning can hold what truly requires attention. The night can hold the rest. You have done enough thinking. You have carried enough possibility. You have spent enough of yourself trying to understand what could not become clear. Now your inner life becomes quieter by choice, not numb, not closed, quiet. There is room around your heart again. There is room around tomorrow. There is room for people to reveal themselves without you writing their part for them. There is room for you to decide. There is room for a new rhythm. There is room for nothing at all to happen for a while. Even that can be peaceful. You do not need constant movement to know you are going somewhere. The compass proves that it can be perfectly still and still contain direction. You can be still now. You are not falling behind. You are not missing the answer. You are not losing your chance by resting. What is real can meet you in waking life. Tonight is for sleep. Let tomorrow be tomorrow. Let the past be past. Let this moment be small. A pillow beneath you, a room around you, breath moving, body resting, thoughts thinning. The inner needle quiet. You do not have to point anywhere for anyone else. You do not have to become more attractive, more patient, more accommodating, or more impressive before you can rest. Sleep does not ask for credentials. This moment asks only that you stop holding yourself away from it. Come back to the center, the same center you have been strengthening all night. The place where somebody else's uncertainty cannot rename you. The place where disappointment cannot erase your future. The place where memory can exist without becoming destiny. The place where you can care and still choose yourself. The place where direction remains even when the road is unknown. Stay there, quietly. No effort. The compass is settled. You can be settled too. One more breath arrives, then another. You do not have to count them. You do not have to do anything with them. Let them come. Let them go. Let the night become deeper around you. Let the mind lose interest in solving. Let the body become heavier wherever it meets the bed. Let tomorrow remain outside the room for now. Nothing needs to be decided in the next minute. Nothing needs to be proven before morning. Nothing needs to be chased into clarity. What matters will still matter after rest. What is yours to choose will still be yours to choose. Your direction will still be there. North does not disappear in darkness. It remains north even when you cannot see the road. That may be the final lesson for tonight. You do not need perfect visibility to keep your direction. You need only a relationship with what is true inside you. And that relationship is becoming steadier. You listen sooner. You return sooner. You abandon yourself less. You trust patterns more. You speak more clearly. You give uncertainty less authority. You make room for peace. You make room for what can remain. You make room for yourself. Now the words can fade. The explanations can fade. The old questions can fade. The circle is quiet. The needle is quiet. You are not searching. You are resting. No message needed. No answer needed. No proof needed. Stay here. Stay centered. Stay soft. Stay clear. Rest deeply. Sleep freely. I stand steady while my compass settles. You no longer chase, you attract. Sleep now, your true direction remains with you.